Pascal, talk us through your day today. How are you feeling at the end of what was ultimately a total roller coaster?
First of all, the wake-up time this morning was insane, 4:30.
Did you have a nap today?
I closed my eyes for 10 minutes, but they keep delaying the sessions by 10 minutes, 20 minutes, the whole day, so there's actually no time to really have a nap because it's always so short notice. Anyways, it was a good day, a long day, a tough weekend for everyone. After yesterday, a happy end, which reflects a bit our season, that it's super up and down. Yesterday good qualifying, but just had zero pace in the race. Today in the wet, very competitive. Good enough for P2, good enough to be back in P1 in the team's championship, and we try to fight hard for the teams and the constructors.
Do you think P2 was probably the most you could have hoped for today?
Yeah, Nick was a lot faster. Already in practice this morning he was first, in quali he was first, and in the race, so very dominant. I think we were as well very competitive because we opened up 12 seconds gap to P3. Nick was just a bit too quick today. We were quick, but not quick enough.
And you're a very experienced racing driver, yet those conditions were still challenging even you. Can you explain maybe just how tough it was actually out there?
I think in the beginning of the race it was quite tricky. The thing is, the tires, they aquaplan so quickly. They don't absorb the water from the track very nicely, which is also easy to understand because this tire has to work in dry conditions with 35 degrees ambient temperature and 50 degrees of track temperature, and at the same time it has to work somehow in the wet when it's super cold, and therefore not easy to find the best compromise. It just feels like driving on ice, very easy to lose the car, very easy to aquaplan, to lock the tires and to go off. And you just try to be on 99% the whole time, because when you are just 1% over, you go off. And if you're not on the limit, you're slow. So not easy to find the best compromise.
I think skating on ice sounds about right. And you said...
Another question.
Come on. Come on, positive one for you. Talk about the positivity for the team. P1 in the Manufacturers' Championship. You're leading the team's championship now. That's got to be a good takeaway from today.
That's definitely a positive of today. Like I said, the Drivers' Championship is something quite unrealistic, which we knew already before we came here, that we kind of need a miracle and a super strong weekend here and only a bad weekend. I would say our focus has definitely switched, and today was a strong result for the team. We scored very good points, and we keep fighting hard until the end to bring some championships home, whichever they might be.
Thank you, Pascal.
Thank you.
In the words of DJ Khaled, another one.
Another point?
They're all adding up, mate.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed because we could have had a better race. Not today, obviously, the conditions. We just struggled too much for grip. I think it was a Nissan thing, I'm pretty sure, because they also struggled a little bit. So I think as a powertrain, we all need to go away and do our homework to try to improve a little bit more in the rain conditions. I think Monaco was more on the team, more on the Neo McLaren side. Nissan were obviously quite strong there, so I'm not really sure where it was wrong here, because Nissan were also struggling. So I think there's a few points that we still have to look at, but I got a podium yesterday. I still picked up a point today, so I'm talking it down a little bit, but I cannot really be too disappointed.
Yeah, leaving China with silverware, you're still very, very close to Costa and Pascal in that Drivers' Championship. You can't come away too sad from here.
No, of course. I mean, it's just a bit frustrating to get to second and then lose it literally the next race. I'm only a couple points behind António, so I think that should be a pretty simple fight with him. To catch Pascal again is going to be a bit difficult, but obviously he probably thought the same thing at the end of yesterday. So yeah, you know, ups and downs are always going to happen in this championship, and to still try and scrape a point, I think it was reasonable.
And you said to me yesterday about how important it was to use, well, this year essentially as a learning point, that every time you do something new in a race, you know how to do it next time, and this was another one of those occasions, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I learned how to drive without seeing where I'm going, so I think for future that might be a bit helpful. Yeah, the way that we started the race was questionable. I think I really struggled. I definitely couldn't see anything at the back. Obviously, I don't know what the other drivers were saying and why the race was started, but it was a learning curve and definitely a new thing for me to experience. But for future, I'm able to handle it a bit better, I guess.
And I know you're a guy that only drinks water, but maybe a birthday celebration tonight, one beer, maybe?
I don't think so. I said if I was to win today, then yeah, I would, but
Not a chance.
no, maybe for next year.
Next year. All right. Thank you, Taylor. Cheers. António Félix Costa, how was that?
Difficult. That was difficult. I wasn't very quick today, to be honest, but I guess with experience I was able to kind of salvage a podium. You know, there was moments there that I wanted to go for the win, then I said, okay, not going to make it today. Then I said, okay, let's try and get that second place back. And then I also had to accept that that wasn't going to be possible. And then the last, 10, 12 laps with Hughes just right there and putting a lot of pressure and, yeah, keeping an eye on my mirrors, trying to keep the car on the track, because that wasn't easy. So yeah, that was not an easy race, but I'm happy with a podium. At least, you know, coming all the way to China, going back with some silverware, it's good.
And big one for the team as well, with Nissan not scoring any points today after you guys did the same yesterday, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's with both drivers scoring kind of big today and them not scoring, it brings us back. I think we're in front of them by a point now. So yeah, all to play for on that one.
Is the Teams and Manufacturers Championship now where your head is at, as opposed to the hunt for Ollie Rowland?
Honestly, it's always a really... It sucks when you have to accept that the Drivers' Championship is gone, but if I'm realistic, it is gone. And, you know, you don't close 100 points on Oliver, you know, in what, 5 races, 6 races, so... It is what it is. I mean, the goal is still to win races every weekend, to try and bring the championship for the team. And if something insanely crazy happens along the way and somehow he tumbles on himself, then we'll be there to pick up the crumbs. But it's makes me a little bit sad, to be honest, because we started with such a bang this year. But yeah, it is what it is, and we'll come back next year, try and do it again.
And just a word for the fans today, sat opposite your grandstand in the pouring rain. There was such good support.
It's amazing. I mean, already yesterday we had a full grandstand. It was amazing to see that. It was a big contrast to last year, where you know, a big turnout this weekend. And even today, you know, with everybody knew it was going to be raining the whole day, as it was, and you know, the autograph session, they were all there. They're all there in the grandstands for hours and hours, with sessions being delayed and delayed. So, yeah, big thanks to all the Chinese fans and for the turnout, because it was it's great to see that.
And maybe some more guitar skills to celebrate the double podium tonight.
I think I'll play the drums tonight.
Nick, it's been a minute. Back on the top step of the podium, how does that feel?
So good, so good. What a relief. Yeah, just an awesome day. Yesterday was good too. I mean, honestly, to be as strong as we were in free practice, okay, maybe we weren't quickest, but we were there. We were there in quali, and I think that gave us a lot of confidence. Obviously made the right decisions with the car overnight and had a rocket ship today, so big thanks to my team.
And a word for your team, because the celebrations in the garage, they've worked so hard to get you here.
Yeah, completely. I mean, my guys ride the wave with me, right? When we're high, we're high. When I'm down, they're down, and they don't give up. They keep working hard, and I certainly know in this sport, like, you know, if you don't have the best car, it's really, really hard to win. And when you do, you've got to execute. I think that was a bit of the thing last year with the championship. Why I was so personally disappointed, because I knew that we had a car that wasn't normal. We had an opportunity that wasn't normal, and when you got given that opportunity, you've got to take it. But I think we proved today that we put ourselves back in that spot, and we absolutely took it. So very proud of them.
And how nice was it to be back with Phil this weekend? It clearly worked well.
Yeah, look, I get on great with Phil. I think, without using the word threesome, he's been involved. He's been involved in our engineering group anyway. I mean, my race engineer Jeff, he's been with me every step of the way this season, but also this weekend. He's been in the ops room engineering with us too, and unfortunately he's a bit ill, couldn't be here this weekend, but he'll be back with me the next race. And Phil's just one seat away as well. So all together we work well, and yeah, it's just been awesome. Hey, buddy.
And just finally, to do it for Jaguar, whilst in front of this crowd where there's such a big demand for the cars here, talk to me about that.
Yeah, obviously the Jaguar brand in China is a big thing, and to have our CEO of JLR China on the podium with us, Ching, was awesome. And so, nice to be able to win 2 years in a row in Shanghai with obviously Mitch winning here last year.
And you know what? Great to hear Love Story on the podium again.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. It's been a minute.